Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Jobless Weebs, episode 102. 102, woo! I'm Brian, and with me today, of
Mark
course,
the beautiful Mexican.
Yeah,
How are you, Brian?
pretty good. Yeah, I had a pretty good week, playing some video games, working hard, and looking for an apartment actually. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, things have been going pretty okay. I read a pretty wacky, or continued reading a pretty wacky manga called My Insanely Competent Underlings, and it is hilarious.
Yeah, I started it like,
you checked it out?
Yeah,
it's like a manhwa, and yeah, it's way over the top. Like, it's nuts. It's batsy. And this guy, he makes NPCs who do his bidding, and that's where he pours in all of his stats, all of his registration gold, and like everything. And so he is like a pretty dopey character, but he is this underling who's like
well, the thing
literally insane.
Yeah, his underlings are insane, and they think that he's just gonna build like this dark organization,
underworld.
And he's like,
some
what?
dark overlord.
He's like, I'm not doing such a thing, but he has to act the part, because if he doesn't act the part, then he will lose. How much did he say? Like 3 million.
Like loyalty.
Because he literally spent like 3 years worth of money, right? Like, of real money to. So he's like, talk about microtransactions. It's like,
right.
Boy.
But yeah, it's great. I love it so much. Yeah, I'm glad you checked it out. It made me laugh so hard, like super hard.
Oh boy, I found. I started reading a manga. That it's gonna be for the next season, so we will talk about it in due time.
We will.
But it's the same author as Don't You Know I'm Sakamoto-san?
Oh, okay.
So it's the same author.
Oh yes,
and
big fan.
It's super strange. I've only read like 2 chapters so far, so it's super strange, but like you can see like the drawings of like kind of like the art style.
Okay. Similar.
Pretty similar to like Sakamoto, like you know, doing really insane things that you're like, that will definitely not
never
pass
happen.
by, will never happen in real world, but it's manga, so screw it, it will. It's ridiculous. It's like, I haven't had time to like completely give it a truthful review, but it will be ready by the time we record the what we'll be watching for fall. 2023.
Yep, we'll jump in. Yeah, I'm pretty excited then. I really enjoyed Sakamoto-kun, so I'm imagining it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Like last week we had like this episode about World War II tanks.
Yep.
And how
diving into
Senshadow is the world's best fictional sport
ever.
Yeah.
Yep. And this one has a similar like World War II vibes, but with battleships.
Yeah, and the thing is that this is not a sports anime. This is
I was a little surprised.
If it didn't have like cute anime girls, it would definitely be a seinen manga or anime.
Definitely, yes.
You know, it would give vibes of kind of like this type of kind of like the Sepang. I remember I talked to you a little bit about it. Sepang is about this this actual ship. It's a destroyer as well, and this ship, it's a modern one. It's transported back to 1942 or 43 during World War II, and it's just a mess. Maybe we will talk about it someday. But
maybe one day. Yeah.
This one is called Highschool Fleet.
Yes.
Or High Footy.
And boy, it's now that you mention it, it does have some of those really like serious types of setting battleships, but high school girls manning everything really.
Yeah,
it's great.
And
it's
again,
great.
It's like it's
like
high school. Well, unlike Girls and Panzer, Girls and Panzer is like, oh yeah, we use live ammo, but it's in it's aimed at being safe. So the students, they are not blown to smithereens when they get hit.
And it's literally just like clubs and tournaments.
In this part, it kind of happens like that. And yet, no. Because even though it's like a high school setting, like this is supposed to be, kind of like a military service. Right? And I guess we could give a bit of background on this world. Because this world, you could say that it's kind of like modern time or a bit futuristic, but it has
just a little bit.
It has some quirks that differ from the modern day era, or like in Girls and Panzer.
Yeah, where it's pretty like down to the facts, like and it's just like in the modern world. But for High School Fleet, and you could also say there's a little bit of alternate timeline for this particular anime, which is really hard, really like hard to pick up on from the anime. Very fascinating. But in this world, there's a fleet basically of women called Blue Mermaids, and they do a lot of fleet type stuff. With like,
I mean,
kind of like, I'm not even sure what to call it, but they're like a branch of battleships.
I think that it was kind of like either a branch of kind of like a maritime police, or
that's probably
either
the best
kind of like a branch of the army, you could say.
In a way, yeah.
Because the men also have their own faction that is called the White Dolphins.
Yep.
And also in this world, it seemed that things like World War I and World War II never happened. Yet the ships that are shown across the series are World War II ships, and we will cover which some of those ships are. Also, one of the things that you mentioned that it's just completely slipped by. There are no planes.
No airplanes.
So
it was so weird when I picked up on that, because it's just such a tiny thing.
I completely ignore it because it's like because see that there are like these kind of like drones or zeppelins. So it's like those things are flying, but then it is still like no, those are kind of like radio controlled. It's like no, it's like they're unmanned. It's like okay, so like ships never happened, meaning like some science stuff. Like the Bernoulli equation. All the planes are governed by the Bernoulli equation, and in here they just say like, oh yeah, the only thing that allows flying is the concept of helium or hydrogen, which is like gases that are lighter than air. That's why things are able to float, because they essentially become less denser than air, therefore they float up. But the Bernoulli equation, it was used for flying, and the Wright brothers, they used that concept
to get enough lift to overcome that.
So in this world, there are only ships, like sea ships, and also this is after a Russo-Japanese war, and after some kind of like methane mining, and that turned Japan into a maritime country, meaning I don't know what's with Japan with dooming themselves, because
all the time. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you know what, Japan is gonna sink, and it's like I can make a list of a lot of anime that want Japan to be sunk, and it's like
straight down.
He's like, I don't know Japan, but
just sunk all.
I kind of feel that you're putting the rope in your own neck.
Oh dear. Yeah. It's a fascinating concept. Yeah, it's like that idea that the gods like take back what humanity has claimed or whatever. Yeah, so just
but it's like in this world Japan is
and what they
sunk
do,
and they started using ships.
That's right.
To build cities.
And these cities they're pretty big, and they go far off the coast of Japan. So there's a lot of like harbors and a lot of like that type of cityscapes. And so with this maritime type of idea, with the Blue Mermaids, they have only women in the Blue Mermaids, but they also have a lot of the students go directly to high school on ships.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really
and for those who are not familiar, we have different types of ships.
Oh yes.
The destroyers are the smallest kind, with less firepower, but those ones are mostly used for vanguard attacks.
Yep.
And so they're the faster, but they're also the most fragile against bigger ships.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But these ones are faster. They're agile. They're a lot of time for reconnaissance. The next one, at least that is shown on the anime, it's the light cruisers. Light cruisers are slightly bigger, more powerful, but they are not as powerful as the next class that they shown, that it's a battleship. And the battleship, those are the big guns.
Yeah.
As far as firepower and protection, a destroyer will never be on top of a battleship, but a battleship can easily destroy a destroyer. As funny as that sounds.
Oh yes.
And now that we've established some of these backgrounds, some of these type of ships, we can finally start with the anime and with the plot, because this is a really good story, and
it is,
and I really like all the characters.
Good. Yeah, they're funny characters, very eccentric. So we start off with two childhood friends. Let's see, Misaki and
Mocha.
Mocha. Yep.
I think her name is Moeka, but
Moeka, right? But her nickname.
For Mocha. Friends, Mocha.
That's right. Yep. And they basically, they're just like playing, but they really look up to the Blue Mermaids, and they say the Blue Mermaid motto, which is really funny. But right from the get-go, they want to join the Blue Mermaids, and years pass, and they do, and as we mentioned, they basically attend a high school where these classes are put together and then assigned to a ship. It's really military minded, like the classes. And what surprised me is that they're the ones who are given all of the roles on these ships.
Yeah,
really interesting. Like, these ships are, they're manned by them only, which surprised me, because these ships, usually you have hundreds of crew, like, and we get to see just like the classmates running the ships. Really, really interesting. Misaki, let's see here. The Harekase.
The class they're assigned to is the Harekase.
Harekase.
It's actually a fictional ship. That's the only fictional ship that it's shown.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fictional ship of the class. Oh, I forgot the class.
Let me pull it up. Kageuro class. A Kageuro class destroyer.
All right, it's a Kageuro class destroyer. Again, this is fictional. And turns out that in this ship, like the worst performing students, at least academically, are put here.
Oh man, why did they do that? I don't know, but they did. Oh, it's so funny.
And Misaki's best friend Moeka, she is sent to the Musashi. The Musashi, this is an actual battleship. It's a World War II battleship that was sunk in 1944 by a bunch of planes.
Okay. Case in point, dang planes, which aren't in this world. Interestingly enough,
The Musashi is a Yamato class battleship, and is the largest ship on its class. The Yamato is big.
Yes.
But the Musashi it's slightly bigger. So I can understand why they chose the Musashi and not the Yamato. And also, quick note that it's unrelated to this. I learned all about these ships thanks to a mobile game.
Yes.
With anime girls as ships. Just when you think that the useless information about anime mobile games will not come in handy, just slaps you in the face like, I told you it will be useful.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh.
Anime. So Misaki's best friend, she's the captain of the Musashi, and they're supposed to go on a training. So it's not like they have their whole school lives in the ship.
That's right.
Like they're just assigned to the ship, and they are just going to go for kind of like sea training. For 2 weeks, in which all the ships have to meet at an island, and from there they will start the exercises. One of the other things is that these ships are also true to the specs from World War II, meaning they're steamships, which it takes a ton of time for the motor to,
to heat up, actually heat up. Yeah, absolutely.
And after that, they're separated into classes. They meet with the instructor. Misaki kind of tells the instructor why am I a captain? She asks that, and the instructor is like, what do you think a captain is? Because I really like that, because pretty much the anime kind of conducts itself based on that premise.
It does.
What's a good captain?
What is a captain? And for Misaki, it really was something that she wondered about, and her character development is all about that. Yeah, I agree. That was a really good setup. Because captains, they are the ones, of course, who run the ship. They make the decisions, but there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, and a few other things that she has to work on. But and so the instructor, she sends them off, and they start going out. We see a few more of the members of the crew. We see. Let's see here. We see Shiro. We see a little bit of her characterization right at the beginning with the cat. before they board the ship.
And her unluckiness.
Oh yes. She's really
She trips with a banana peel.
Yep. Oh gosh. And then what does Misaki say? She says like, "Oh, I guess we found out the bananas are really slippery." Like, what? Yeah, it's just so silly. They didn't know they would be on the same ship at that point in time. But yeah, they're pretty funny together.
Yeah, they meet at the ship. Mm-hmm. We're a little bit introduced to all the members of the ship. You know, the engineering group, the mechanics, the navigation, the cooks.
Oh yes, the cooks.
Cooks are great. And the people that are on deck.
Oh yes, yeah.
On the bridge, on the main bridge, which is Misaki, Coco, which is the secretary, best girl as well.
Yeah.
The torpedo crew.
Oh, yep.
And
navigation. I think we see everyone, or mostly everyone at the
sick bay crew, which is
Minami. Dude. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about her because she's a mystery for now. Oh man. Yeah.
And the thing is that on their first assignment is getting to the island.
Yeah.
And they are behind on schedule 3 hours.
Yes.
Because they had problems with the engine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's
like,
so
okay,
crazy,
I wouldn't be surprised because
for one, it's your newbies on
and also they're like the washouts. So
they are, yeah. It was just a little bit strange that they do that. First of all, putting them all together, separating them out like this, but then also, well, I mean, oh man, it's just so fascinating to me because they give them this deadline, but yeah, oh man, 3 hours late. They see the instructor coming behind them, and then
it was not behind me. It was like on the island.
Oh, it was...
yeah. The instructor was there on the island. And they were like, "Oh, we're finally gonna meet them," and it's like, signal them, apologizing first because we're late because we had troubles with their engine.
Yes, that's right.
And they told like, "Oh, she's here to meet us, and we're definitely in trouble because we're 3 freaking hours late."
Right. Yeah.
And so they were in some sort of trouble because the instructor, her name was Furushu Sensei. She was the captain of the Sarushima. Oh, yes. The Sarushima is also a real ship, and in this setting, I think it's been a little bit modernized from the one in World War II, and she just opens fire.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, it blows my mind. And so, yeah, this is when crap hits the fan. They're like, "Why are they shooting at us? Like, what is this? Like some sort of a test or assessment?" And they're like, "What should we do? What should we do?" They decide to self-defend, hit back, basically retaliate. And it's like they decide on like dummy torpedoes, like training torpedoes. I think that's what they called it. And so they launch them, and they do hit, and
the ship starts sinking. It's like, what is that freaking ship made out of?
Yeah, and so it didn't make sense to me. I can't really remember if they explained it, but they're like, "Yeah, it's sinking," and they're like, "Okay." I mean, was that part of it? Was that like...
it's like, was that the exercise?
Okay, well,
like,
I mean...
Did we pass?
Shiro and Misaki, they decide to do it together.
No, it's not there yet.
Oh, not
the live ammunition, like the key, it's when they unlock the live ammunition.
Oh, yeah,
but
the keys.
It's until the next episode when they when they encounter another ship.
They encounter the other.
Because here they're just like as confused as we are.
That's right.
Because they're like those were not live ammunition.
Right.
Why is that ship sinking?
That's right.
And then they receive some like radio or like a call saying like, oh, the Harekase has mutinied, and it's like, excuse me?
That was really weird.
And so, you are like, but they started it.
They started it, yeah. And so, like, no explanation is given, no, like, warning, because, mutiny is kind of serious. So this is, like, as we mentioned before, no fun and games, because this is a serious situation. When you talk about mutiny. So this is for this reason it would be like seinen, but this is with high school girls. So so
it's
still
like, okay.
Still, they're in danger, but it's still cute. Yeah.
I mean, because they're criminals at this point.
Yes.
And so they're like, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
So they're going. They're getting really worried. Like, what just happened? Because how are we like being considered like mutiny?
Right.
When they started it, we don't know what's happened. It's like I don't think being labeled as criminals for arriving 3 hours late. It's fair.
Justifiable. You're right. Yeah.
And they're just talking. They're still confused. They don't know what's happening. They don't have communication with school.
That's right. After the instructor.
After that message.
Because the instructor didn't communicate with them at all before after firing. So they're totally in the dark.
Yeah. This is where they mentioned about no planes.
That's right. And I picked up on it, and I took some screenshots. Now that we found it where they were, I wish I took them when I first was watching it. So they say in episode 2. Let's see here.
Coco, Coco is the one that mentions.
Yeah. She says, I wonder if you can make a flying ship without hydrogen or helium. So as we talked about. And then Shiro is like, only in your imagination. So I was like, that's when I picked up on that.
I completely ignored it, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, it's so weird.
I mean, I just love the shenanigans of the whole crew. Oh, yes. Especially Coco, because she's just like reenacting these conspiracies.
Oh, yeah.
That are sort of right.
They are. Yeah. They kind of are. And she like, so what happens is she gives us some sort of like mime to explain what people are thinking and what happens. Yeah, it's so great. It's so great.
While they're still collecting their thoughts, they suddenly
almost
spot a
like
ship.
Still on the run. Yep.
They spot a ship. This ship it's the Admiral Graf Spee.
Yep.
This is a light cruiser. Named a pocket battleship by the English, meaning that it has firepower, and they start to attack them.
Yeah,
and they are like, "What's this?" Like
right. Here we go.
Like,
again.
Are they ordered to like take us down because of the mutiny that?
Yeah,
like that we perform, or and Coco is like, no, this is what's happening, because we see another ship that a boat that leaves the Graf Spee, and Coco is like, I don't want you to attack the ship. Oh, are you mutinying? Yeah, I'm going there.
That's right. Oh, Coco's the best.
So I think that's the part where they decide to unlock the live ammunition.
They do, yeah.
Misaki also decides to go rescue the girl who went outside on a boat.
Yeah, because she hit some outcropping of rock or something. She goes off. And I think the small battle is pretty great. They go into a figure 8 pattern with all the smoke that's coming out. I'm not sure if they were doing like a screen, like a smoke screen.
Yeah,
I think they were. Yeah,
they were.
Smoke screen, along with a lot of serpentine figure 8. I think that was probably my favorite, like steering and like just like overall sense of battle. I thought that was pretty great. And so the girl gets rescued. And I think they do hit the Spee. They don't quite. I don't think they immortalize
they
it.
do nothing.
It keeps it just goes off. I think it just leaves after they try hitting it.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah,
I would say that for the first half of the anime, you have no idea like what's happening.
Still,
you just know that they're being attacked. They just rescue like a foreigner.
Yep, the girl. Yep,
and they're just running away because it seems that every ship they encounter, it's out to get them.
That's right. Yeah, still no real communication, which is really, really unfortunate for them. They're still they still head off, and also they find out also that they can't really go to any port right around this time, even though they are in desperate need of stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During this time, they also find another ship, a submarine this time.
Yeah.
That it's piloted by boys. And they also have like some sort of scrimmage with them. Mm-hmm. They managed to get them off because they managed to make the submarine to go to the surface.
Yeah, with the dipters.
And they just made a run for it. We're introduced to the foreigner. Her name is Mina. Mm-hmm. Well, that's how they call her because her name is.
Oh yes,
really hard.
It's a really long name. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, she's fancy.
And she's the deputy officer, so she's the same rank as Shiro.
Shiro. Yeah. Shiro-chan. Yeah.
And she just tells the crew of the Harekase like, I just went out from my ship because people stopped obeying orders, and my captain told me to alert the other ships. And I mean, she was attacked and then rescued. So it's like at this point, they just know that there's something wrong with people. That people is not listening to orders, or that they are attacking. And they can't quite put their finger yet there what it is. But they're like, okay, something's happening. And maybe that's what happened with the professor. That's why we're going to attack.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Very beginning.
And from this very serious moment, they go to the part of, we don't have toilet paper.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is a fun part. This is probably my second favorite part, aside from the festival.
Yeah.
It's freaking toilet paper. And so they had the meeting. We're like, what are we going to do? And they're like, why the heck are we out of toilet paper?
Yeah.
And this is the best. Oh, I blew my nose with it. Oh, yeah. It's just a lot.
It's the Japanese toilets paper fault for being so fluffy.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, what?
Yeah. Oh, man. They just have outrageous things, like reasons to use toilet paper.
Yeah, so...
So they're out of toilet paper, and
they go to a floating mall.
Yeah,
and Misaki goes there with a few other crew members, and unlike Mashiro, that Mashiro is super unlucky, Misaki is super lucky. Because she gets like a 1 year worth of toilet paper. Because even
From
after
a
they were scavenging money from everyone to buy supplies.
Right.
They're like,
right.
we just got one ticket and we got that. Like,
and we won the
yeah,
lottery.
like the captain is super lucky.
For toilet paper. Oh my god!
Like while that is happening on the mall,
yeah,
the crew in the Harekase, they're actually grabbing some, kind of like drifting supplies.
Yeah, and they they find it like it's like a cooler, some sort of a box, and they open it, and I don't know if the tech was important, whatever they found inside it, but the animal that scurries out is like it looks like a hamster.
Yeah,
they think is a hamster, I think, at the beginning.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and I don't think did we mention really it? I don't think we mentioned at all the hero of the story.
Oh yeah, we haven't.
It's a cat. It's a cat that appeared at the very beginning that happened to make Mashiro trip with the banana peel.
The same cat. Yep.
Yeah. His name is
Isoroku.
Isoroku, yes.
Yeah, Isoroku.
Yeah, Isoroku, this fluffy cat that just sees the rat and is like,
oh yeah,
and it goes for it, and whatever. Like, this is important. So you're like, what are they talking about? A cat? Like, this is important. So
it is.
So going back to Misaki, she's stopped by the Blue Mermaids. Because at this point, like, the stuff that is happening in school, after they were informed that, the Harekase mutinied, the principal of the school is like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's like, I don't care like what you guys are planning to do. They're my students, so I'm gonna deal with them, and I'm gonna order them to go to school. And the director, she is a former commander of the Blue Mermaids.
That's right.
And her daughter is the current commander of the Blue Mermaids. So
runs in the family.
Yeah, so some connections, like nepotism much, but
maybe. Yeah, very strong family. It is strong.
But yeah, they are caught by the Blue Mermaids.
During the toilet paper, and they're bringing back some toilet paper. I thought it was really funny. They're like, "Oh, just take however much you can carry." A year's supply of toilet paper would be a lot.
Yeah.
So, interesting thing. They're captured, quote unquote captured, but we pan back to the back to the ship, and we see it from their perspective. They come back, Misaki and the others, followed by the Blue Mermaids behind them. And I thought this was a great part. Kudos to the principal believing in them, because she saves their butts.
Yeah, so they're basically not, hostages to the Blue.
Right.
They're rescued by them.
That's right.
And so they are also bringing with them some third year ships, or from senior high schoolers. That it's the Akashi, and I don't remember which other ship. But those are maintenance ships, meaning like they can repair the ship at the sea. Yeah. They don't need a port. They have everything there. And I also learned that from the game. Beforehand.
Okay.
So after the cat, after he caught the rat, Taiteshi, she's like, "Oh, what a cute looking rat," and she's kind of like taking care of it. They're like, "Oh, maybe it has an owner, so let's see if we can find it."
Yeah. like off
and
chance.
So then they spot the Blue Mermaids and the Akashi and the captain that it's with them, and they're like, oh crap, we're busted. Shima just goes bonkers, and she's like, "This is not time for curry," and just like goes to the gun, and starts firing the gun.
Yeah, and the thing is, she has glowing red eyes, and we're just. Yeah, it just took me back because she's usually super quiet and just very soft spoken. You know,
I guess she's like my second favorite character after Coco.
Oh yeah,
because she's always like
fantastic.
Ooh.
Oh, so great, so great. Yeah, I like the festival. So yeah, she's shooting at them, and the thing is, she's not really like responding to anybody. She doesn't really like say anything coherently to anybody, and yeah, it's just mayhem that she causes. Thankfully, no real damage happens, but
and Mina
and
just
also when she gets
thrown off,
that was really surprising. I was like, okay, that's yeah. She's like, man, she just manhandles her off the boat. Yeah, it's crazy. But when she comes back, she's calm and a little bit more herself. But yeah, right from the get-go, we're a little bit, like this is like a red flag that something's not right, something that we aren't aware of is happening, especially with like her red eyes looking like the little rat's eyes.
Yeah,
I noticed.
Once the
no idea why, but
the captain comes back to the ship.
Yeah,
they get introduced to the Akashi crew. They start getting their ship fixed. Also, the Blue Mermaids begin to interrogate.
Yeah. Like why?
Like what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know. It's like, do you know what you did? Like, I know what I did.
She said she like remembered doing.
He's like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know.
She can't remember why.
Okay, it's like that's all. It's like you're still under suspicion, but like you wouldn't have any like major punishment because you didn't make any damage.
That's right. Yeah, I thought which was nice.
Yeah, they have their fixed ship. Is it also by this time that the instructor Furusho also like woke up after being rescued from the sinking ship?
Yes, it was around here. Yes, because she also starts to say that she can't remember why. So now we have
at the same time, it's like
who say
she's
they
also
don't know
being
why
interviewed.
they did it. Yeah,
and she's like, so do you remember like what happened? And she's like, I remember they were late, and I ordered.
And so I fired.
I ordered for a fire to open fire.
And everybody else remembers that.
And it's like, okay,
yeah.
Why do you do it? Because they were late.
It's like, why?
So you open fire because of a minor offense. And she was like, why did I do it?
Yeah.
It's like, I opened fire to my students. It's like yes, feel bad.
right. Kind of a thing. Yeah. So now we have multiple accounts saying the same thing, but still not able to get to the bottom of what's happening. So we definitely know now that something is definitely not right. Because no one's really malicious. No one's really actually like, going out there. Granted, the Musashi and it does seem that way, that people are on the warpath, but we're figuring out that no one's really like outright malicious. So so some weird, mysterious stuff is going on. At this point, I definitely knew that there was something not quite suspense, but maybe a little bit more mystery to this anime, which I thought was kind of fun, throwing in that to the mix of high school girls on battleships.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of mysterious plot developments.
Yeah, I mean, after this interaction with the Blue Mermaids, their name is cleaned. So like, okay, you didn't mercenarize, you didn't self-defense, but something's happening here.
That's right. So we still need help with getting.
They also get the notice of, well, we can't find some other ships.
Yeah.
A lot of them are also destroyers. I think 2 or 3 of them, which is the Hiei, the Ki, and the Musashi, those are battleships.
Musashi.
And they're like, okay, we cannot find them, so we need your help.
Yeah.
And also, like, at this point, Minami, the medic, she starts playing around with the rod.
So the end of the sixth episode, when the credits was rolling, I was like, oh, okay, next episode. I was like, wait a second, there's a little bit of time, even though it's still the credits. Oh,
yeah, and that's the only episode that has an after credits scene.
I think maybe 1 or 2 more after that also has some. Yeah, but it's kind of minor. But this one is pretty major. Yeah, I'm glad I went after the credits and stayed. Cause she is she is think mad science. Yeah. There's a girl being held back, and I was like, "Oh no, what is she gonna do?"
If something happens, stop me! Like, no, what are you gonna do? Like,
she sticks herself.
Yeah, like, why are you holding the other girl then?
Oh my gosh. That was I was about to message you and be like, oh, so this is what's really going on. Okay. This is what you told me about. Oh yeah. I was so surprised. So yeah, and then next episode. But yeah, so Minami, we know that she's now doing experiments to do with this creature, and some things are happening there, but right now we just know that she's like doing experiments. But yeah, she's a wacky one. Like, if anything happens, stop me.
Yeah, it's kind of like from here funny. The story now has like a clearer path.
Yes,
because we discover a lot of things regarding what's going down.
Yeah,
and
they have a clear goal of trying to find more of the ships.
And as far as the character goes, they're still not quite there.
Yeah, that's right. Because as
far as the captain,
she still goes off,
and the deputy captain, they're like clashing a lot.
They are.
Because Shiro, she has this.
She has a clear idea of
this mindset of what a captain is. A captain is just like, just in the ship, just give orders. I don't know if I agree with her.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's to the point where it's that idea of, she has more of an idea that the captain is someone who is insurmountable, someone who's unapproachable almost.
Yeah, I mean, that felt more like her definition of captain was more of like a boss, saying like, you go there, you go there, you go there.
Delegation.
Not exactly like a leader, which a leader delegates, but also the leader knows how to.
Yeah, and leads from the front.
And Mike-chan, Misaki, like her idea was a lot more interactive. Of like, I don't need to be like on the bridge in order for me to
risking herself. But
which like, okay, maybe that's a bit over the top.
True.
But like, I just thought she was a great captain.
Oh yeah.
And also the fact that she had like splendid luck and plot armor.
She
also counts a lot.
Does. Yes, she certainly does. Mm.
But
yeah, and it does clash quite a bit.
Because also at this point they also found the Musashi, but the Musashi just started attacking them.
Yeah,
she fell from the glider that she was riding.
Yeah,
that's where the fallout happened. Because
that's right.
Because Mashiro told her like, "Hey, you're neglecting your ship, your crew."
Right.
Like, what the heck are you
do that?
And like, I don't think she was neglecting the crew.
Right. To that point.
Or yeah, like as she was claiming.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's definitely quite a little bit of shaky ground to that.
Yeah. We continue to an important part of the story, which it's where kind of like everything consolidates a little better, and the team, they
grow.
They grow together closer, and it's during a storm.
Yes,
and it's like they
and this is not
important.
After...
Yeah, this is not important to the plot, but it's like if after they run out of water.
Yeah, and so they've been using seawater for like their laundry and their showers, and so their hair.
The rich girl is the only one that has this silky hair.
The only one.
He's like, how did it happen?
But yeah, and so the storm. This was great. I liked that they put out like the buckets to catch the rain, and they all go out in their swimsuits, and it's so fun. It's a really fun time.
Yeah, but it's like the storm starts.
Yeah,
there are thunders. It's a thunderstorm.
Yeah, and it gets bad.
And now you have some backstory from Misaki, because Misaki it's an orphan.
Yeah,
and she was rescued by the Blue Mermaids. And like it happened on a ship. It looked like it was kind of like a cruise or something like that. It was a big ship.
It was,
but like she was not able to find her parents. But it was like it happened during a thunderstorm, and you also learned like a little bit of like why she is so freaking like reckless and like so set on doing it herself, because in this flashback she didn't want to jump, and she has this kind of like regret of like, if I would have jumped sooner, maybe my parents would have been safe as well.
Yeah.
Which I mean, at this point, it's like, why did the freaking parents want the daughter to jump first? It wouldn't feel like okay, one adult jumps first, then the kid, so it can hold the kid, then the other adult.
Sure.
Or the three of them together.
Sure, at the very least, but anyway.
But for the sake of the argument, she was the only one.
Yeah, there's so many situations like that.
And so she had this trauma of like, that's the reason why I want to save everyone. And Shiro then is like,
yeah. She learns a little bit more, and I think that's where Misaki, and with the learning about the Blue Mermaids, she has this mindset of comrades at sea are family. Poor Misaki. So yeah, she goes into I think it's fun when they show the cabins of the different girls. Everybody has their own cabin
flavor.
Flavor. It's so great. So she goes into somebody else. She goes into I can't remember whose cabin. But yeah, no, it's not a cabin.
So it's a quarter.
And so she gets comforted. But yeah, it kind of develops their not really relationship, but more understanding on Shiro's part.
Then they receive like during this like comforting moment, you're like, okay, like now I understand, like Misaki's better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, on the other hand, I thought that Shiro, like her mom was the principal of the school, former commander of the Blue Mermaids. And her two sisters are captains. Like one of them is like the commander of the Blue Mermaids, and another one is a captain of one of the ships of the Blue Mermaids. So like I think that she's looking like from afar, saying like, "Oh, that's how a captain acts." And as far as her background, I don't think that it was, like as serious as Misaki of being rescued by the Blue Mermaids, because like Misaki's looking out for the Blue Mermaids because she got rescued. Mashiro's looking out for the Blue Mermaids because those are the role models that she had. So it's like two different backgrounds. And that's also why
one looking from
there are two
outside,
different definitions of what a captain is.
Absolutely.
But it's like at this point, like kind of like breaking point.
Oh yes.
They receive an SOS from a mall. A floating mall that it's sinking. And it had like this kind of like don't remember Vietnam for Misaki because it's like, oh crap, that's just what happened to me.
Yes. So yeah, she's really gung ho to go out there. Yeah. And so so she wants to go and help with like the rescues and stuff. And Shiro, now she's more a little bit, understanding.
But
oh yes. Oh yes. Right.
They start rescuing. They start rescuing people because Misaki got a hold of the captain of this floating mall and told her like, "Hey, just put everyone on deck. We'll get there." And they formed a rescue party with part of the Harekase crew.
Right.
And they start, rescuing these people, and Shiro decides to go instead of the captain.
Right. She goes
because she was like, "Hey, you're the captain. You're supposed to stay on the ship."
So even with that background, she still has that idea.
Yeah, and so she decides to go. Mina also decides to go, and this part also kind of like made me mad because like during this rescue part, they get across like a couple, and they're like, "Oh
yeah,"
like we cannot find it, and it's like. It's hit a small one.
So it's like yes, very vague.
And then it's like
talking. Yeah,
it's a cat.
It's a freaking cat.
Like, don't get me wrong. I got nothing against cats. I think they're really cute. But it's like if you weigh the life of a child versus the life of an animal, call me a monster, but I will choose the child.
Yes.
It's like,
each and every time.
It's like it's just like human life or animal life. Which one do you like weigh?
Yeah. So I don't know why they did that. It was, and it was a little misleading with how the couple was like handling it. So
yeah,
I totally agree.
And just at the end, just like. Why don't you keep it? It's like,
how dare you? How dare you? Yeah. So okay.
You're like, that worked for character development for Shiro.
It did.
Okay. But it was a bit infuriating because it's like,
it was.
Are you freaking kidding me?
It was. I mean, it's like it's a dangerous situation. Literally, lives are at stake, and they just think, oh yeah, it's a great idea to just let a high schooler go in and save a cat. So I don't know. Well, anyway,
and especially because she ended up being rescued by the Blue Mermaids.
On top, she goes in and. It escalates. This
ship.
The ship starts to sink, and it's getting even more dangerous because it's flooding and all of that. She goes in there, she finds the cat and starting to bring it with her. But yeah, with this situation, it's just going faster and she's running out of I guess she ran out of like an escape route the way she came in.
Yeah.
She has to go up.
Probably
because she goes into a shaft.
Yeah, it was a really close space.
Yeah.
Really, okay.
True.
She ends up being rescued.
Yeah.
And when she meets back with Misaki is like, I was at the edge of my seat because I didn't know what was going on with you. Like we had everyone.
Very touching moment. I thought that was great because that's when they really, they really embrace each other. Misaki, she really cares about all of her crew, but yeah, she really cares about Shiro. And then the cat pops out.
Yeah, he's like,
and it's so funny. Shiro is like growing. She's like not afraid of her cat.
Yeah, she's like, can we keep the cat?
Can we have one more cat? Yeah. Oh, very touching.
And okay, so after this part, and they rescued a lot of people.
Yeah, they do.
Because they did all the work. They did. The Blue Mermaids basically just came in to rescue Mashiro.
Yes.
Because they did all the rest of the work.
Yes.
And like, yeah, that's pretty good for a bunch of washouts.
Seriously, yeah. These are the washouts. And yeah, they're amazing. They're MVPs.
And so after that, move on. We are kind of like getting closer to, I would say, the end game.
Yes.
And because of that is because you had some mini bosses before confronting the final boss.
That's right.
Which is the Musashi.
Musashi. And another thing that Minami does is that she comes up with an antibody for... So they go over it and they call it a virus. I was really weirded out about that. So what's happening is that these rats are sending bioelectric signals.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that would be classified as a virus. Go figure.
Right. Yeah, because it was called the totalitarian virus, right?
Yeah. And
which they compare it with kind of like a beehive. I would say it was more of like a mole rat. There's a kind of mole rat that actually acts like a beehive kind of thing.
Okay.
But
with the hive mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of confused because it was not airborne. It was not on contact. It was
it wasn't passed through like that.
Electrical signals kind of thing.
Waves.
Brain waves that literally also happen to affect the radio signals or the navigation system.
So
that was kind of weird. It was
really weird. It made no sense, but science in anime, throw it out the window. Bioelectric signals, virus. Minami comes up with the antibody, and Musashi, final boss. So
the first ship that they encounter is the Hiei.
Yes.
The Hiei, it's a battleship. It's smaller. This is also a World War II battleship that is sunk. They do mention some other. It was funny because they mentioned the Kaga and the Akagi, and those are carriers. Well, the Kaga it's a battleship, but it was later retrofitted as an aircraft carrier. And the Akagi, it's an aircraft carrier.
Okay.
And they say that they were on port, but then now that I mentioned, it's like,
interesting.
I thought they weren't planes. Why do you have aircraft carriers then? But whatever. So they encounter the Hiei. The Hiei is a battleship. We mentioned it. The destroyer has no chance against the battleship. like one hit from the main battery of the battleship, and
they would go down.
The Harekase will say bye-bye.
Yeah, they get wrecked.
So they come up with a plan.
They do, and it's quite a good plan. And so the principal, she's like, no, you just run away, just get out of there. But Misaki and she comes up with a brilliant plan. I think they're at like an atoll, some sort of a coral reefs.
Yeah,
just around there.
Yeah, they're not attacking. They're pretty much just luring the ship.
Yeah,
going into a coral reef.
Yeah,
and they are letting the sea.
Yeah,
do its thing.
With the tide going.
And when the tide goes down, then it won't be deep enough for the ship to stay afloat, and it will get stuck on the coral reef. Yeah, which for the Harekase, it was not a problem because it's a lighter ship.
Much
so
smaller.
Even if the tide went down, it can still, I wouldn't say easily, but in comparison to this huge and way heavier ship, it won't have that sort of problem.
That's right.
Which that was an amazing because Misaki just got the idea from the cat.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh my goodness! So silly. Yeah.
Like once again, the cat saving the day.
Yeah, seriously. Oh yes.
So yeah, they managed to stop the Hiei. Blue Mermaids come again. Yeah. It's like freaking Blue Mermaids. They're like
they always come.
It's like you take the credit for everything, and you haven't done anything. But one of the Blue Mermaids ships that arrives, it's one of Mashiro's sister.
Yeah, she got. Oh my gosh, guts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that tomboy sister.
Oh, she's so funny.
They have an interesting exchange.
They have a sister moment. And what a sister moment it is.
And right after that, the next boss.
Oh yes.
It's the Admiral Graf Spee.
Yeah.
They part ways with the sister because the sister is going to look for some of the other ships, some of the other destroyers that are missing. And they find the Admiral Graf Spee, which is Mina's ship.
So, and so she gives them some details with basically with like the specs and all the stuff. Oh, also the festival happens, and it's the Equator Festival. It's so fun. And poor Marin, she goes around. And
she's the chief engineer, right, or the chief mechanic.
Chief mechanic, and she's great.
I really
it's just
like
a lighthearted episode. Really great. It's so.
I really like how they say like, oh yeah, she's from Chiba, and Chiba like they have a lot of festivals, and everyone's like, Yash.
Yes.
Because at the beginning, like they're not like really good with the idea of a festival, and
no one's really
Madam Pout. And then they're all in, and they all have their skits and their
the navigation,
their comedy routines.
With the navigation rap. It was so funny. I think that was probably my highlight. And they're like, oh, how did you go off course? Oh, this how did you go off course? And then, oh, how did you go off course? Oh yeah, I didn't give an answer to
a confession.
And like, oh well, do it now. And they're like,
he's in love with someone else. No.
We went, of course. Oh yeah, it was just so funny.
And it finishes up with the sumo match.
Oh yes.
For Kuro, so Kuro
for her
get
sake.
back at the captain.
Yeah,
he's like, this is the only way for you to get back at the captain. So
we rigged it all. Oh, it was so great. Oh man.
So it's
just really great fun.
I think that those filler episodes were right on point. They felt good. They didn't felt forced like in a lot of animes.
Yeah,
they just certainly feel like I don't think we have quite finished kind of like the arc to be celebrating or for a filler. But in this case, it did felt good.
Yeah, all the beats, all the plot points. Yeah.
Because it was also during a time that they were wait.
Oh yeah.
I think it was after the festival.
After what?
The festival was after the fight with the Graf Spee.
Oh, wasn't it?
Let me check.
Oh. Hey.
The festival was episode 10.
Okay, and
their fight was episode 9.
Episode 9. Okay, that's
good thing I checked. Yeah.
Now, okay. Because I almost wanted to say that.
Yeah, because I was remembering they were getting their fix, their ship fixed by the Akashi
That's
again.
Right, because
and they got the updates.
And
it was after their fight with the Graf Spee, because the Graf Spee, it made a number of them on them.
It did, yeah. So going back to episode 9 with the Spee. That's right. So it was good. I liked that that they had help. Let's see here. They had help with the antibody. So with the antibody, they were able to reverse the quote-unquote virus.
Yeah.
I don't really like calling it a virus because oh well, be that as it may. So yeah, how did this battle go? It was
so they got information from Mina.
They do, yeah.
Of how they can board the ship, because
that's right.
Because what they want to do is they want to raid the ship.
Yeah, they have to use basically the jet skis then.
Yeah, they're gonna use I forgot the name of those glider things, but
yeah, they call it something. But yeah, they're basically like souped up jet skis, really.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They are really cool.
So yeah,
they go out.
Like the Harekase has to distract the Admiral Graf Spee and try to hit them, but just for them so they don't notice these gliders getting close to the ship and board the ship and start the raid. And they almost get beaten because their one of the torpedoes gets taken down. They also get some holes on the hull.
Yeah.
But they do manage to get into the ship, and the raid scenes was really good because you know we had what was her name? The girl that was like with the flags.
Oh yes, Machi.
Yeah, it was Machi.
Yeah, it was Machi.
Yeah, Machi just goes ballistic with all of them, or the rich girl.
Oh yes,
with her sword, she was like.
She took a lot of that.
He's like, girl, calm down. He's like, you don't need to beat the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Because I mean, they raid the ship. They managed to get to the bridge of the Graf Spee where the lolly captain is.
Yep.
And that was super funny because she kicks Mina, and Mina is like, it's fine. Like she just hugs her and like she gets the cure.
She gets the antibody.
And I don't know what's Minami's deal, but she put a lot of doses of those shots. You didn't know, like one of them was the first shot after the raid to the Admiral Spee. She's like, oh yeah, this is the last one. It's like,
I don't know what. I thought like, that was
talk about
weird.
A booster, but
she was an odd one for sure. So they take that.
Yeah, they have another party right after, like they rescue them.
Mm-hmm.
She parts ways with Coco.
Yeah,
which got me sad because like sad, Coco is like,
because they bonded.
They bond with this, kind of like Yakuza.
Talking
Yakuza way of
and they watched movies together. Oh man, they were so great.
But, they're part ways.
Yeah.
Then they have the Equator.
That's right. Then they have
the Equator Festival.
Yeah.
Then she's somehow weirdly bonded with Shiro.
Yes.
and that was just because when they were saying like the farewell, Shiro also kind of like started talking about in a Yakuza way.
Oh yeah, she did. Just briefly, yeah.
So they kind of like, are we best friends now?
Yeah. So funny. Yeah, she had to listen to them.
So yeah, they have the Equator Festival. They got the operation, their ships.
Yep.
They get the notice. We found the Musashi.
Yes.
And like, what are you gonna do? Because you can go back to school. You can go where the Musashi is and just keep us updated.
Yeah, tell us what's happening.
Give us intel. But
don't engage.
Crap hits the fan. Because it's like, I was just amazed as.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have a bunch of ships.
Yep.
Like on the first wave, we had a lot of ships from the high school boy school, in which they were annihilated. That's the first time that they lost the Musashi. Now, this second time, we have a fleet of Blue Mermaids trying to stop the Musashi, and it does crap again.
Right.
Because they had a fleet of ships, and then the Musashi managed to incapacitate all the ships but one.
Yeah.
And so the Harekase, it's just like, looking how everything's going down, and they're like,
right. They're just hanging out for now. Yeah.
Because also at this point, they encountered the Musashi once, and it didn't go good. So Misaki, like, I want to rescue the Musashi because my best friend's there.
Yeah.
But I think that I've finally, kind of like connected with the crew.
She finally feels like
I don't want to put them in danger because of my selfishness of wanting to save my friend. And I really like this moment.
Yeah.
Because, Maron just grabs Mashiro.
Oh, yes.
And they're so like,
yes.
Okay, so listen.
Oh, yes.
Sushi could be good with mayonnaise. And Shiro is like,
yep.
What? And Kuro is like, I think what she's trying to say is that even though Maron and me are different, we complement each other. He's like, yes.
That's what it was.
He's like, just do that because like you can do that. Like the captain, because the captain wasn't sure of what to do. And so she's like, you're right, and she goes. And she was like,
she says, I'll be your
case closed. And like she goes back to the captain because the captain is still hesitant and is like, Captain, I will be your mayonnaise.
I will be your mayonnaise.
And Coco is like, what? Coco is like, gosh, I'll be mustard.
Coco's but
they get the result of like, we're gonna rescue the Musashi. They managed to get in contact with the crew of the Musashi that was not brainwashed.
They're holding
through like Morse code and the lights.
The lights.
And they're like, no, we're gonna rescue. And they devise a plan again. Like Misaki devises a plan on how to hold them off. And again, they ask permission for for the school, saying like, "Hey, we want to engage."
And here's the plan.
Yeah, and the school is like, "You're crazy."
Yeah,
because it's like a state-of-the-art fleet.
Oh yeah,
couldn't do a thing,
and you want to go in there,
and you're like, "Yeah, you're a small destroyer. Like, what do you want to do?"
But when she sees the plan, she's like, "Okay."
Like, she's like, "Okay, if you can buy us 5 minutes, because the ship is heading to the mainland, and you know this could cause an epidemic of some sort again, because we're not sure if it's a virus or not, but whatever."
Right.
A zombie outbreak.
Oh, sure. Zombies.
And so they start devising the plan. They start attacking the Musashi.
Yep.
They're doing nothing to the Musashi. And they're getting hit pretty bad by it.
Yep.
And just when hope is about to be lost forever, we have the Avengers Assemble moment.
Yeah.
Where we have the Hiei,
previously
a lot of the destroyers that were missing.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Graf Spee, and we have our instructor Furusho in another ship.
Yeah, I'm glad she comes back because, that would have been terrible if she didn't come. But yeah, so they all come for support.
Yeah, and
it's great.
They start their attack again.
Yep.
And oh boy, you know, like this kind of like reminded me of these Girls and Panzer. You know, on the final episode, how they were like drifting and you know making use of the smoke curtains and all of that, because they do something similar here. They're like, okay, we're gonna board the ship, we're gonna raid it again.
Yep.
And they just made some crazy stuff because they're like, oh, we need to turn. They're like, do we have parachutes? We have.
Throw them.
It's like,
that was
insane. Boy, like one thing was drifting with a freaking tank. Yeah. Another thing is drifting with a freaking
ship. Yeah. What the heck? Seriously. Yeah. Oh my gosh. They actually pull it off with the drift.
Yeah, that because while the Musashi was being distracted by all these ships, they managed to get closer. Because they hit it.
Yeah. Yep.
And they start the raid.
Yep.
And
Misaki
crazy. Leaves the ship.
Yep.
Because she's going back to to rescue Mocha. And you know, like happy ending.
Yeah.
Or so we think.
Or so we think. That's right. Because when they come back, oh boy, it's a little sad. But yeah, they rescue everybody on the ship. Mocha comes back. Yeah, it's really fast at this point, because when they're back at port, their ship sinks.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I cried a little bit, and like last time I cried again, like with the ship sinking, was when Luffy's ship sunk in One Piece. Because this was pretty similar. Because you're like, they got on land, everything's good. It's like like the MVPs, because like they did most of the work.
They really did for everybody, really.
You're like those are the washouts. The washouts, they like your starship does not hold a candle against these washouts.
No way.
But because that part is like they just get there, and then the Harekase is just like, it's like and they're just like saluting and sings, and it's like, no, you didn't.
Right.
Like they did.
And
they did.
They did. Yeah, and that's the end of the 12 episode anime.
Yeah.
At least.
Yep. And that's the end of the part where we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
So there are still 2 OVAs, 1 movie, which will be saved for another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see how this works out, because this will be the first series that we do. Well, alongside Girls in Panzer, because we mentioned doing something similar with that.
Yeah, with
overall the anime was great. It is a great story.
It was. Yeah, it was great.
You know, it's not as simple as, you know, Girls in Panzer.
Right.
So this one actually has
a little bit of mystery, a little bit of moving parts with all the different stuff. Yeah, fantastic. I liked it.
Oh,
great anime.
Yeah, all the characters are unique.
Yep.
It is well balanced between, you know, action and drama and comedy, and, you know, slice of life moments.
Yeah. Pretty good balance.
But overall, I really liked it. I think I found it right after watching Girls and Panzer, actually.
Oh, really?
I was like, I want to look for something similar, and then I found this. So.
Well, it is pretty similar. Yeah, I would say very similar with the Battle High School type setting.
But if you haven't watched High School Fleet, please watch it.
Yeah. Try it out.
Yeah. We skip a few good things.
We did.
Like one of my favorite things is like when they're getting attacked and it's like, "Are you guys okay?" It's like, "We're good. The rice cooker is good."
Yes. Oh, this is so random.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see you next time for a new anime.
Till then,
keep watching anime. And we'll see you next time.
Mutiny.
Johnny.
Yay.